Hello BookTube. Today I'm going to be doing the cookie book tag. It was created by Josh of Literary Gladiators and it's from 2015. Move my phone over. Chocolate Chip Cookie. A great American classic. For this one I'm going to go with The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. It's been many years since I've read it, but I remember greatly enjoying it when I read it, and it is obviously one of the contenders for the Great American Novel. Sugar Cookie. A work that gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling. For this prompt, I'm going to go with Me by Elton John. I read this memoir autobiography for the BookTube Prize. It was eliminated in the first round, but I really enjoyed it, and just reading about Elton John, particularly his life today, just gives you that a warm and fuzzy feeling. Oatmeal Cookie. A work that makes you think of home. You know this is coming. Big Wonderful Thing by Stephen Harrigan. This is a history of my home state of Texas, so I cannot help but think of home when I read this book. Gingerbread Cookie. Your favorite fairy tale or folk tale? I'm going to sort of expand this out to include mythology. I have an edition of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales, and I think I have a Legends of the World, but really when I think of fairy tales and folk tales and mythology, I always go back to Greek mythology, and so I'm going to go with Mythos by Stephen Fry, which is a book I really enjoyed reading. The second part of where Fry talks about the heroes, I haven't gotten yet. I really need to, but yeah, really enjoyed this one. Oreo Cookie. A supporting character that steals the story, just like the cream filling. I'm going to go with Renee. The pronunciation of her name is strange, so I'm going to go with Rennie. When she is introduced in the City of Lost Fortunes, she is working as a cashier for a voodoo bookstore, gift shop. She is murdered by a fallen angel and is resurrected as a psychopomp eventually. Or she's sort of like resurrected as a ghost, and then her and the main character, Jude, end up sharing a body, and then they're eventually separated, and she becomes a sort of sidekick. She absolutely steals the show in this book. Absolutely, Rennie steals the show. Which is why in the sequel, Gather the Fortunes, she's the main protagonist. And Jude only has like maybe 2 appearances. He's mostly just a cameo. So, yeah. Rennie is definitely a supporting character who steals the show. Biscuit. A great British classic. For this one, I'm going to go with Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I'm not as familiar with 20th century British novels as I am American novels. And so Mrs. Dalloway might be a bit of a cop out on my part or an easy choice. But it is really a very fascinating, engrossing novel. I quite enjoyed it when I read it, again, eons ago. Wish I hadn't gotten rid of it, or The Grapes of Wrath for that matter. But yeah, so yeah. Okay. Thin Mint Cookie. A work you feel makes a difference. Thin Mint cookies are typically associated with the Girl Scouts who every few months have cookie sales. I'm personally not a huge fan of the Thin Mints. I much prefer the lemon cookies or the hello, no, it's the thank you cookies. They're like shortbread cookies with chocolate icing, and there's like various ways of saying thank you in like English, French, Chinese, Japanese. So in that one, I'm going to go with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or in the UK, Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Say what you will about the quality of these books, and I've never made it past the first chapter, but J.K. Rowling did get a generation at least, if not now, 2 generations of kids reading. So that is certainly nothing to, yeah. I mean, it definitely made a difference. Black and White Cookie, which is a, no wait. Oh, I forgot Shortbread Cookie. A writer that is addicting, or who is addicting. I'm going to go with Agatha Christie. I think if you read one of her novels and you really like it, anything else by her will be addicting. It will be engrossing. You will love it. Even Passenger to Frankfurt. Which is probably one of her worst books. Okay, so Black and White Cookie. A work you, Black and White Cookie are cookies that are half white frosting and half black frosting. I've never had these cookies. They're a cookie I've wanted to have forever or try, because I watched, I think there's an episode of America's Test Kitchen where they make one, and about a year ago the New York Times food or cooking channel had I think it's Melissa Clark made black and white cookies, and I'm like, I want one, but I've never had one. So work you feel you are not sure if you like or dislike. For that, I'm going to go with Empire in Black and Gold by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So I read this, I want to say I tried this last year, although it might have been the year before. And there were parts of it I really liked, and there were parts of it that I didn't particularly care for. So I'm not entirely sure what I feel about it. I probably should come back to it and reread it sometime later this year or maybe next year and really give it another go. And hopefully my opinion of it will settle. It's basically, in this world, various humans are parts or members of tribes or societies who have animal or insect qualities. So beetles are certain archetypes, wasps are an evil empire, spiders are schemers, so on and so forth. I mean, I liked bits of it, and I didn't particularly care for other bits of it. So, yeah. Dog treat. Your favorite literary animal? I'm going to go with a hydra. And the bonus, what is your favorite cookie or biscuit? Chocolate chip cookies or sugar cookies. Chocolate chip cookies because I've made Martha Stewart's chocolate chip cookie recipe several times and I love it. It is amazing. I want to try her sugar cookie recipe too. So, yeah. So, obviously, I don't know who's done this tag or who hasn't done this tag. I mean, it is going on 5 years old. Okay, it's about 4.5 years old. It came out in October 27th. So, not quite 5 years. So, if you're relatively new and you haven't done this tag and you think this tag would be fun, consider yourselves tagged. And I think I'm going to try to do more of these, more of Josh's backlisted foodie book tags because I really enjoy them. So anyway, I'll try to do my own original tag later on tonight. I'm still working on it. Still trying to figure out if there should be some kind of competitive rewards or just, how I'm going to do it. Anyway, and if you're curious about the Band-Aids, I tried to fix this bookcase back here. My brother made it for me 2 years ago, and the brace that is meant to hold up the long shelf has a tendency to want to dip, which makes the board kind of cave in to sort of like it goes from this to like this. And I was going to fix it. Me and my brother fixed the top long shelf when it did that, but he's being kind of squirrely and not very helpful. So I decided to go ahead and try to fix it myself, and needless to say, I should never try to fix anything without help. And also, I didn't know screws could get that hot. Anyway, so hopefully I will see you again later on today, and if not, I probably will try to have a video tomorrow, whether it's a tag. I haven't really seen any tags today, or if I want to ramble about comic books. So anyway, I will see you either later today or tomorrow. Until then, BookTube, thank you and have a great day and stay safe.